Hey there and welcome to another action figure review. Today we are taking a look at Dime Novel Legends, the Texas Ranger from the year 1872. It is produced or released by Chicken Fried Toys, and they're doing a whole slew of Western-related figures and even some different ones upcoming soon. We'll talk about at the end of this video, so stick around to the end. But anyway, I've been really anxious to get my hands on some of these Western figures for a while. I like the Old West, and I like 3 3/4 and 4-inch action figures a lot, so I've really been anxious for a while to get my hands on this, and I finally was able to. Let's take a look at the package, because, you know, we all love packages, right? Anyway, in this case, we do. He comes on a really pretty thick cardstock. It's really thick. It's a lot thicker than the old G.I. Joe action figures came on, and I really like the portrait here. It's a very Old West. I mean, the whole thing is designed Old West-like, and, you know, they knew what they were doing. They've got this rope around the border. They have a really cool logo up here for Dime Novel Legends, and it's just the presentation is really, really something good. We'll flip it around and look at the back, see if the back presentation is just as good. And so here you go. You've got the main character, the figure that's in this box or on this card. The portrait is right there. We got the cross sale here. Now, some of these are available. Some of them are not yet available. And I guess some are coming. Well, I guess they're either coming soon or they're available. And you'll have to figure out which ones are which. They're not all out yet. I'm still waiting on this guy and a few of these other guys over here. But anyway, here it talks about, it's kind of like a bio. I wouldn't actually call this a file card, so to speak, like with G.I. Joe figures where you cut it out. I'd save the entire card. But this is the kind of the bio of the Texas Ranger. See, these are generic figures. They're not actually named characters. And so this is about the Texas Ranger. Down here you got company information, which I think is really pretty neat to have on there. And some thank yous, which is another really great thing. You know, it shows the company is really, in touch with, talking to the people that have helped them out. In the bottom right corner, you do have how many pieces, how many of these figures on this card are available. In this case, it is 2,250 pieces, and I am one of the lucky ones to have one. I'm guessing that this is the year, means EX is exclusive to 2020, and TR, I'm not sure what that one means, but I'm guessing this has to do with some sort of a date timestamp right there. Well, it's really fun to look at this package and just ooh and ah over it, but you know what's even better? That's getting the figure out of the package and oohing and awing over the figure. Let's get him out of the package right now. One thing I didn't notice until I was pulling the figure off the card was this little note up here. Ages 25 plus, adult collectible figure. That's really cool. I find that really neat. This is a company who really knows who they're targeting, and so they put it up there. They are really, these are really designed for adult action figure collectors and not just kids. I mean, the price point also, actually the price is not that horribly high. But I don't think, well, maybe 30 bucks, I don't remember. But, this is really a very specific market, and I really like that they take ownership of that. And it's not just the standard 8+ because of choking hazard or whatever. All right, well, enough of that. Let's take a peek here at the figure. So I was super, super excited as I pulled this figure off the card. This has probably been one of the most exciting, next to the skeleton from yesterday. This has probably been one of the most exciting figures I've taken out of the package in quite some time. I've been picking up some Marauder figures, but that's a little bit different. You get them in sealed bags, and that's probably why their cost is just a little bit lower. But to pull this figure off of the card, there was just some sort of really awesome excitement about that. Now, I will warn you, I'll pull him just a little bit closer there for a minute. I will warn you that there are horror stories out there that sometimes when you get these figures from Chicken Fried Toys, and it's like just about any boss fight and Marauders, when you pull them off the card or out of the package, then sometimes, things break. You want to be real careful checking the joints. Mine came out perfect. I checked every joint. Everything worked like it should. This is probably one of the best figures I have opened in quite some time. Even the skeleton yesterday gave me a little bit of pause. It felt a little bit fragile. I moved every single joint. I posed this guy, wiggled him around. This has probably been one of the best openings I've had in a while, to where I could just feel like this thing works right off the shoulders were a little stiff, and they still are a little stiff. We'll get to that, I guess. But, well, we're talking about, let's look at his points of articulation. Let's just get into this. Let me quit explaining, my excitement here. But his head is on a ball joint, rotates all the way around, so does a scarf if you don't stop it. There is no hinge for the neck, so what you get is just kind of a little up and down. There's no torso chest area wiggle. It's all here in the waist, kind of like the old G.I. Joe figures, and this works really well. I think this is going to work for just about anything you need. You could pop this off if you want to and swap out some stuff. I believe that these are kind of also meant to be a little bit modular, because you can get different parts for different things. These shoulders have a hinge. You can take them up about that far. The shoulders will rotate all the way around. The elbows rotate. Mine gets a little bit stopped up with this piece back here. There is a hinge on the elbow, lets you go back and forth, and there's, again, something back here that'll stop it from going too far. Can't hyperextend the elbow. The wrist rotates all the way around and has a vertical hinge. Now, it won't go real far. There is a sleeve right here that will stop it from going too far, but I think you get what you need to out of it. If you want him to do the splits, he can easily do splits. He can move his legs all the way around. Very nice, very smooth. In these figures from Chicken Fried Toys, there is no thigh rotation here, and there is no ankle hinge or rotation, so it leaves us with this double pin knee, which mine was super smooth. It just happened. And I barely looked at the thing, and his knee moved. I mean, this is great. The movement on this. I hope everyone else has really great luck with this figure as much as I am, because this would be my first figure from them, and now I can't wait to go get some more. The one thing I'll notice, just pointing out things on this figure, and I'll use my X-Acto knife, is the right knee kind of looks a little funny. And that's just a visual thing. It looks like the part wasn't quite built the right way, or maybe the wrong knee was put on here. I'm not really sure, but it definitely doesn't seal up as well as this left knee. If that's about the extent of my complaint, hey, whatever. So let's take a look at the accessories he comes with, and then I'm going to point out a few things on the figure itself. He comes with this really cool looking orange Chicken Fried Toys logo figure stand. One thing I noticed specifically about this is there are 3 pegs. When I tried putting him on these pegs, feet slid on just perfect. There was no shoving on because maybe the peg was too big, or the hole in the feet were too small, or something wasn't made quite right. Figure slid on this thing absolutely perfect, and I like 3 peg holes. I don't know why, but I just kind of do. Really cool figure stand. He comes with a really great looking rifle, got the browns, the silvers, and the gold on there, and they're all in what you would consider probably the most appropriate locations. They're not just colored because. This is a great looking rifle, and I'm excited to put it in his hand there. He wouldn't be a cowboy if he didn't have his own cowboy hat. And it's got some really nice design up in here, and when you look down here, I hope this is in focus, look at that detail. There's even paint on the little strands that are on the rope that wraps around his hat there. Just small little detail. This is neat stuff here. He comes with this revolver or 6-shooter, or maybe they're the same thing. I'm not really up on my guns. You can let me know in the comments exactly what I should call this. But again, silver and brown colors. The detail is really great. This will actually go into a holster that's here on his waist, and I'll show you that in just a moment. And he comes with a knife. Again, brown and silver in the right places. A knife doesn't need to have a ton of detail, but there's a little bit of detail, like right in here, that makes you think this is a real blade. I can't really show that, I guess about there, but that's really cool. This knife will go into a sheath that's on his left leg over here, and we'll get to that in just a moment. And he comes with 2 of these little sheriff badges. Now, while I would need a magnifying glass to see, there's actually letters on the top and on the bottom, and I'll have to see what they are. Interesting is there's holes in it. This is not like a colored solid piece. This has got holes through it. You can see I picked that up there. So that is some really, really interesting small detail. And there he went. Now, the thing about these is, from what I understand, I'll hook this back on my finger there. What I understand about these are meant to be glued on the figure somewhere, or on the hat. So you choose where you want this to be, whether you want it here on the vest or on the hat or on the leg, wherever. It is your choice to glue that on. I'm guessing we got 2 of these because, oh, there are 2 different ones. Look at that. I didn't actually look really close at them. This one's got words. That one does not have words. So, yeah, that's really a small point. I'll have to look through a magnifying glass to see what that is. But you got one without words and one with words. So you choose which one you want on this figure, and then you choose where you want it, and then you use some sort of like a super glue or something like that. Anyway, really cool little detail. Small piece too, don't lose them. Here he is all geared up. He's holding on to his rifle there. He has his knife sheathed and his 6-shooter holstered. The few little things here, I hope you can see. My light's not really working great for me today. But the thing is, about this belt, let's raise up his arms a little bit and knock his hat off. But the belt here, let's take his hat off, can be unbuckled right here, well, at the buckle. And what's really neat and interesting is how the sheath and the holster are separate pieces. They're just kind of hanging here on the belt, and they can move around to the front. You can move it around here to the back. You could slide this around to the back. They're independent of the belt. And if you take the belt off, you could actually slide those off if you don't want him to have a knife sheath or a 6-shooter holster. If you don't want him to have a belt at all, you could just take the belt off. I don't know if his pants will stay up, but anyway. You can take off his neckerchief. Let me get him back up here again. If you pop off his head, you can take the neckerchief off. If you move his arms backwards, you can take the vest off. And you can have a mixture of all these different little pieces and parts. This really is an amazing figure compared to some of the figures. I like Marauders. I like the boss fight now. I like G.I. Joe. And I like Fortnite. But when it comes down to some, and I like, well, I liked the idea of Halo. When it really comes down to a great figure, and maybe I was just really lucky, this is a great figure. And if you're not buying from them, and you like Westerns or you like 4-inch figures, if you're not buying from them, you need to check them out. You need to buy at least one figure and see what you think. They got the spurs on here. I'm going to wiggle these around. They're a little bit softer rubber, but they don't feel like they're going to break off unless you're just really tremendously rough with them. It's got some really cool detail there on the boots. Little silver buckle and everything. We're just looking at this guy for a moment. Look at all these silver buttons on him. Yeah, he is loaded where he needs to be loaded. Let's put him back on this figure stand. I love this figure stand. We'll rotate this thing up. I'm gushing on this. I really truly like this. And just so you know, nobody's asked me to say really awesome things. I'm doing this because I bought the figure and I wanted to talk about it. And I've been excited to open this thing up for a while. I've had him for a while. And so no one's asked me to say anything nice. No one's paid me. I didn't get anything free. I really like this figure, and I think you will too if you want to give it a try. If you like the Old West, this is a really awesome figure. Now, real quick note, Chicken Fried Toys is currently running a Kickstarter for a series of cavalry, the Civil War cavalry soldiers, and it looks really cool. And if the figures are as good as this figure, I'm all in. Well, as all in as I can be. Check them out. I'm going to drop a link below. Check them out. If they're of interest to you, help support them, back the project. Let's get cavalry soldiers out. And then while you're at it, check out the Chicken Fried Toys website and see what all offerings they've got. These are really great figures. These are really neat. I'm disappointed in myself. I've waited this long to get them. And you can be sure I will be getting some more, and we'll be talking about more Chicken Fried Toys, the Dime Novel Legends specifically, in the future on this channel. Because golly, these are great figures. These really are good figures. These are well done, nicely designed. That's it. Thank you for watching. I better not say anything more. You're going to get bored of me. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up for me, please. If you found this helpful or informative, if you want to be notified of when more videos like this with G.I. Joe Fortnite, Halo, and hey, Chicken Fried Toys now pops up, then hit that subscribe button, the bell notification icon, and you will be notified of when future videos arrive. Thank you for watching again. Have a safe and happy Halloween. We'll see you in the next video.